You are now listening to Fighting for Your Life podcast. I am your host, Miguel Ramirez. And on today's episode, we have a couple of my friends, two Jiu Jitsu black belt and brown belt, the leaders of Gonzalez Grappling, head coach, and the leaders of the Trash Panda Nation, Coach Jason Gonzalez and Lil Jay. How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. The way I met you guys is if you guys follow the podcast for work, I go around and I get to travel to certain places. And when I went to Connecticut, I visited Hartford and I came across your guys' gym. And I think I've visited there, more than a handful of times now.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
And
it's been great, man. It's been great having you.
Yeah, no, it's been an awesome experience. Right from the beginning, since the first time I was able to go and meet you guys and train and, do some jiu-jitsu, do some gi, no gi, boxing. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, for sure. So, I just kind of wanted to get you guys on here and, tell your story, like the origin story of the gym and your guys' thing, martial arts and where it all started. Like, was martial arts a thing growing up for you, Jason?
It's funny because when you're a kid, man, you watch all these martial arts movies and stuff, and I never actually thought I would actually be a martial arts instructor, but as a kid, I always taught other kids around the neighborhood, which sounds funny.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that I actually have my own gym now.
Yeah.
And actually doing that, you know what I mean? So it's funny how the full circle comes around.
Yeah, dude, I was actually last night, like I said, I was telling you right before we started the podcast, we were hanging out with some friends and, it was actually kind of like a little jiu-jitsu thing. We were all talking about it. And then we come back and we started watching Bloodsport with the family, So it's like,
classic,
the
right
OG throwback. But did you guys have any of the Jason, Lil Jay, any movies or things that kind of influenced you as a kid that, got you into it? Bruce Lee probably is like one for everybody.
Well, Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme was huge, man.
Yeah.
Bloodsport was a big one. Funny as it is, Steven Seagal was another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all those flashy martial arts movies back in the day, it was really cool. So they always inspired me to want to do martial arts, It was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Lil Jay? Was there anything growing up?
I didn't have to worry about drawing inspiration. My father was going to force me into the jiu-jitsu world, whether I liked it or not. So I just had to learn to love it.
Yeah, for sure. And before we get too far, I want to give a shout out to all the guys at the gym, the Trash Panda Nation, to Roshan, Tyler, and everybody else out there, man. It's an awesome group that you guys have. And if anybody that's listening or watching, if you're in the Hartford area, Vernon, Connecticut, definitely look up Gonzalez Grappling, Gonzalez Grappling LLC on Instagram. So follow them, check out the reels, the instructions, all the stuff is awesome. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but
visitors always welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, dude, that's funny. Yeah, because it was kind of similar for me. My dad was a fighter growing up. He competed in the second Taekwondo World Tournament. And before it was ever even big, it was the second one, so it was kind of just kicking off. But as a kid, I would always see boxing gloves and gym bags around, and we'd get my friends would come over and we'd be punching each other in the head. But
it was a norm thing, man, growing up, right?
Yeah, for sure. Was it like that for you, Lil Jay, too? Your dad's training, and what is it as far as you can remember?
I had the beautiful advantage of, I really was only into jiu-jitsu, growing up and whatnot, but I had the beautiful advantage of jiu-jitsu wasn't big yet. So I was the only one of my friends who knew how to grapple.
Okay.
So rather than, punching each other and whatnot, I got to just try to strangle all my friends. And what were they going to do about it?
Right. How old are you when you first started?
I started when I was 8.
Okay.
So it's been a hot minute now.
Yeah. How old are you now?
24.
Yeah. At that long ago, jiu-jitsu's hot now. Back then it was still.
Back then it was
My community back in the day.
Dude, so about Jason, how about you? What did you start first? Was there any other martial arts that you did before?
When I was younger, I started with Kempo karate and Taekwondo as a kid.
Okay.
As I got into my teenage years, I boxed for probably about 4 years throughout my teenage years.
Okay.
Then I stopped for a long time. I had some kids. I wanted to get into something.
Yeah.
We started jiu-jitsu,
So was that before you had Lil Jay?
Oh, no. We started together. He was about 8 years old. I think it was 2008. I found an academy. I actually just started a youth football league,
Okay.
a Pop Warner league, and one of the guys I started a league with was already trained jiu-jitsu, and he asked me if I wanted to try it, which I wasn't really fond of it. I had a boxing background, so I didn't really care about grappling or wrestling.
Yeah.
But I went to give it a shot. I got my ass handed to me, and I was like, yeah,
As it goes, right? Yeah.
yeah, I'm going back to get some, and I got my ass whooped for a long time.
Right. Dude, that's what they say. Like you either show
know?
up and it's gonna be like, dude, I gotta learn that, or I'm never doing that
Right.
again. You
Yep.
know? Yeah, for sure. No, you know what's similar to me? Like when I was a kid, I did karate with my dad. Like he would teach me. It's funny. I mean, when you get into these martial arts, there's like a lot of, it can get culty sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
as a kid, like I remember like the things that stood out with my dad was just like, he's like, I'm gonna teach you what works, not all this other stuff that,
Right.
and
All
then
the
so,
fluff.
but it was tough because I would learn in my living room instead of like going to a school, and then all my friends would be going to a school, and I'm like, dude, I want to go like with the nice uniforms and
Yeah.
go with them, But when I got to go, it was like completely different. Like they were learning like some nonsense stuff sometimes.
Right.
I mean, not talking shit, but it was just like
No,
it
but
is what it
what it
is,
is, right?
And I didn't know all the forms and all the stuff, but I knew how to throw a kick and a punch, at least back then. I haven't done that in forever. So like that's mostly gone out the window now. But yeah, as a kid, just I did it for a while. I boxed for a little bit and then I completely just stopped. And then like it was always around, like if there was a boxing bag, like a heavy bag around, like I'd hit the bag a little bit, I'd be
Yeah.
drawn to it. But it wasn't until I had kids that like
Yeah.
I was like, you watch the UFC, listen to enough Joe Rogan, and he brainwashes you, and then and then it was like, yeah, I'm gonna get them into it, and then they do it for a little bit, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta do it too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, it's worth it once you start going, man. The hard part is starting.
Yeah, for sure,
Once you get into the routine, it becomes like everything else.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
good days, you have bad days.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
was it once you started training jiu-jitsu and everything, was the gym a thought? Was it like a thing from the beginning, or how did that
No.
work?
Oh no. We just trained. I went through academy from white to black. I was there for about 10 years, a little over 10 years.
Okay.
And then when COVID hit, or around the COVID time, the academy I was at asked if I wanted to open up another school with them,
Okay.
as like a co-owner, which we did. When COVID hit, everything went crazy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So things fell out and everything, and we were kind of like just training in the backyard with some friends,
Yeah.
and it came up that. Hey, we should rent the spot and start training as a school, which it was a joke, obviously. We
Yeah.
have 9 to 5 jobs, and I don't have time. You know what I mean? I don't have the extra money.
Right.
But we had a conversation with my wife, I mean, obviously with my son and my daughter as well, and um, we were like, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And we rented a little spot, and we did okay. You know what I mean? It was 600 square feet, I think, right? Something like that.
It was a fucking club.
It was so small, but
Is it a broom closet
within a year,
with some
we
mats?
outgrew it. So and then we are where we are now in Vernon. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it wasn't planned, and I think it helps that like we're not doing it because we need to. We're doing it because we want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes a big difference. We're not doing it because we need a source of income. We're
Yeah.
doing it because we still want to train jujitsu and we love the culture.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean? So it makes a big difference.
No, that comes across when I go to your guys' gym, just the community that you guys have, and it's not just jujitsu. You guys got gi, no gi, wrestling,
Oh yeah.
boxing,
We do
kickboxing.
boxing, yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, I actually one day I showed up and I thought it was gonna be like no gi or whatever, and it was like, well, I know they're there. I'll be there at the time that
Okay,
class
we'll
is,
be
and
here.
and it turned out to be boxing, and I was like, oh shit, like I haven't done boxing in forever. I was like, but you know what? I'm down. Let's do it. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, different than like when you just haven't done it in
different
forever.
type of training, man.
But-
it's so different.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. So, Lil Jay, how was it growing up? Like doing martial arts your entire time, and like what was your thoughts? Did you love jiu-jitsu the whole time?
Yeah, jujitsu specifically has always been super fun. There's so much to it, so much other shit to try, like whether you're trying to play guard or be a top guy, bring wrestling into your game. I've done other stuff like wrestling. I fell out of love with, that's way too hard. Like I play jujitsu as lazy and passive as possible. You actually have to go in wrestling, and that's just not me.
You got to make an instructional so I can watch it, because that's my lazy jujitsu. Sounds like it's right up my alley.
I call it victim jujitsu sometimes. Just lay down, let them take side control, see what happens.
Bro, that is frustrating when you get guys like you and people that are like at a higher level, where they just like lay back and it's just like, go for it. Like, do whatever you want because it's not going to work. You know, it's funny. Yeah. But so you were always, into the martial arts, because I know that's not always like with my kids. It's like they got to get forced sometimes. And it's like, dude, you're going to get into scraps. Like, you'll understand later, the confidence of that it brings, like knowing that you can do hard things. Like if you can do this, other shit's not going to be as hard as this. And if you can do it and not like it, imagine if you like it and you're into it, and you put that effort in.
No, yeah, there was definitely days where the motivation's lost a little bit. We were on such a rigid schedule. I did, football, wrestling, jujitsu, and we were doing them all at the same time. So there are definitely those days where it's like, oh shit, do I really got to go train? I just did all this shit beforehand.
Yeah.
But you find that routine, and once you get used to it, you just fall into the flow.
Yeah, for sure. No, have you guys seen like the benefits? Like I played football as a kid too. I love football. That was like my first passion. It's just where I grew up. Like I always felt like I was a little guy, but I was always down to like fucking headbutt somebody or take them out. And it was like my school didn't have a football team. I was always the smaller, and even in high school, I was like 145, 150 pounds or whatever. So it was gonna be tough, but I was down for whatever. But there is like this team, like doing your job, your assignments and all that. Like, do you guys, like, what do you think are the differences between jiu-jitsu, where you're out on the mat by yourself, but you do have a team behind you, and football where, what do you guys think?
I'm personally an individual sport kind of guy. I think there's definitely a big benefit to learn to work as a team aspect, of course, but in all aspects of life, I just kind of like to vibe out and work to myself. That's one of the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu. You have that community and you can be with the team, but you're also working on your own thing. You can figure out what you like and what works for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Honestly, as a parent looking back, we did football for years. I coached football, youth football for about 8 years. And it was always cool, like having the players come together and be in a team.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I don't think there was a stronger like a team or a family bond than a wrestling team. Even though they were wrestling as individuals, dude, they were so tight. Just when their teammates were out there, I mean, even tighter like than the football squad was, which was weird to me,
right?
Because wrestling being an individual sport, kind of, you know what I mean? You're out there by yourself,
right?
But the bond
that's
seems
how it
so
feels,
much stronger.
Right? It feels that way, but it's not. It's completely not. Yeah.
You have a bigger team behind you than you think. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I said, it's a bigger bond than I think than the bigger, larger sports.
Yeah, for
to me,
sure.
anyways.
That reminds me of something that I read or something online or whatever, where I'm sure you guys have seen it, where like certain teams will end up in like the finals of a tournament or whatever, and it's like the same guys from the same team that are going to be competing for first and second and third place or whatever, and they're just like, well, they'll just let the senior guy take it or something like that. I'm like, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you fight for it.
But like, if you really think about it, if it's like the top two guys, like, I mean, in some cases you never know. In a lot, in other cases, like they already know from the gym, like what is gonna be.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you really think about it, the number one guy wouldn't be the number one guy without the other guy on his team. Yeah. They're the ones that are scrapping it out in the gym all the freaking time. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like the team side that kind of gets missed sometimes, or it doesn't get highlighted in individual sports like that.
Right. Yeah, dude, because if you didn't have your team training with you, man, you wouldn't be that person.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, it takes the work ethic, the dedication, you know what I mean? They're studying on and off the mat. But like, dude, your team gets you there, and
yep.
Yeah. If you don't have a solid team, you're not going to be that successful, I don't think, competing.
Yeah. For sure. No, right now we have World Masters coming up and Jiu Jitsu Con and all that. There's a lot of people training for that. There's some guys from our gym, like the brackets just came out. And that's just kind of thinking about it, it's like, yeah, like they're going over there to compete, But when we're in the gym, it's like, hey man, like, what do you need to work on? Like, do you want me to
Yeah.
get in side control? Do you want me on your back? Do you like, is there stuff that we need to do before you go out there? You know,
Right.
stuff like that. So yeah, the team aspect is definitely pretty cool. One thing I wanted to mention too is one of the guys that I met yesterday, Brian. He's on from Pohada USA. If you guys look him up on Instagram, he was kind of talking a little bit about like that team aspect and going out and competing and like not wanting to let your team down. You know, and like there's so many
Yeah.
people that you've trained with that spent so much time. Your coach spends time with you after hours. Like, hey, let's do this. I see this. Let's work on that. And then going out there and shit, you might get fucking smoked. You know what I mean?
It fucking happens. Dude, that's the hard part about competing, right? Like I know for him too, man. You don't want to lose, man, especially in front of your team. He owns a gym and he competes heavy, so like losing in front of your students sucks.
Yeah.
But dude, it's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's what are you supposed to do?
Yep.
Maybe it just wasn't your day, you
Yeah.
know, and shit happens.
But how do you think like the team feels? You know what I mean? Like, cause I really think like at the end of the day, the team doesn't really give a shit.
I know they don't.
No,
They don't,
course not.
man. They're just happy you went out there scrapped. You know what I mean? It's usually in the athlete's head.
Right.
You
You're
know?
making it bigger in your
Yeah.
head than it actually is. Cause
Yep.
they're just happy you're out there doing the thing. You know?
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
people don't think about it. Like that is for the average person, for 90, 95 plus, maybe like 98% of people, they don't want to be out there fighting anybody.
Oh hell no!
You know what I
Especially
mean?
in front of all those people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are those rare, like where they're like, "Fuck it, let's go." You know, they're a little different.
Oh
but,
yeah.
but in most cases, everybody's got nerves and they don't want to
Yeah.
let people down. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think we make it. It's not a life or death fight. That's another thing
No,
that I've
right.
kind of come to terms with. Like, dude, we make this thing so big, and it's like we're just training with friends. you
Well, and
know?
that's the thing, right? You got to remember, like, majority of the time that you're in the gym and you're there as a hobbyist having fun, most of us, anyways, we're there just fucking around having fun and yeah, learning how to fight and do shit. But like, we're not taking it that serious. You know what I mean?
Right,
Don't
right.
get me wrong.
No.
Yeah, we train, so we're gonna fuck someone up. But
Yeah, and in some
put in
cases,
the bigger picture, you know?
and there's also levels to like, I think that comparison thing is also just huge too. Cause like for some people it is like they are competing, they
Oh,
are
yeah.
trying to get to another level, and that's great. But I mean, for me, like, you know, in maybe in some of your guys' case, like I got a full-time job. I got this side hustle, the podcast side quest that
Right.
I'm doing. I'm helping my wife with shit. So like there's like, I try to get to the gym at least 3 times a week. You know, I try to work out in between. But dude, like a kid that's 22, like he knows he wants to compete in jiu-jitsu like in the future. He may be a blue belt and I may be a blue belt and I may get fucking wrecked. You know what I mean?
It's not the same, right? It's not the same as these young kids. That's all they do is train.
Yeah, and then when you like really just kind of sit back and think about it, like I actually thought about it the other day. There's one of the guys, Dario, at our gym, like was fucking me up, you know, and we're both blue belts, but then at the same time, I'm like, dude, he's like 20 years younger than I am, you know? So it's just different. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we're friends. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
You know, you tap,
Yeah.
you fucking reset and keep going or whatever. It's all good. You know what I mean?
We're the same way, man. A lot of times we're fucking giggling and shit while we're fucking fighting, trying to fuck each other up, laughing at shit.
Yeah.
Ripping on heel hooks. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
but right? Like,
Yeah.
man, we're just having a good time and enjoying the training.
Yeah, the ones that actually, it's funny because the ones that you get to know the best, the ones that you know the best, are the ones that you would do like the more fucked up shit to.
Oh, the
You know,
meanest shit.
because you can't. You like cover their mouth and shit.
Oh yeah. We always talk about if we do the fucked up shit to you, we like you.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're one of us now.
Out
Yeah.
of the students, I try to apologize beforehand. You know, I'll give them a look in the eyes, like, I'm sorry this is about to happen. Go
Yeah.
over, hit them with like the fucking what do they call it? Boston crab.
The Boston crab. Yeah, man. Oh, it's so funny. But dude, one thing I wanted to talk about too. Yesterday I saw you guys were doing a seminar, Submit the Cycle, right?
Yes,
And I wanted to
yeah.
kind of talk a little bit about that and what you guys were doing with that and what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. So Submit the Cycle, the co-founders is Madison and Margot, my blue belts. They started like obviously a fundraiser to donate money to domestic violence, to cause domestic violence stuff. So yesterday was our first fundraiser. It was a pretty good turnout.
Nice. Yeah.
The first of many, I hope, and we hope to grow the cause, So
So
we like
what?
to we like to give back. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Was the seminar like based on like
self-defense, like basic self-defense stuff. Since it was our first one, we just did like basic fundamentals of like breaking grips, stuff like that. If someone's grabbing you a certain way, they're grabbing your hair, whatever. If they grab your shirt, wrist locks, joint manipulation,
yeah.
stuff like that.
So
Yeah,
mostly like focus for women, self-defense for women if they're in a situation type of thing.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you guys if you guys want to look it up, you can find Submit the Cycle at Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, and then I'm sure you guys will have other events in the future and things
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, that's awesome. No, man, that's yeah, that's definitely a good
Yeah, it
thing.
was cool. Yeah.
There was I just saw something on Instagram. I gotta find it. I'll see if I find it, I'll send it to you. But it was just like I think girls that can fight or something. It was like an Instagram channel, but it's dedicated to girls that can fight. Maybe there's a collaboration
Yes,
or
no,
something
it's
there.
cool. It's cool to team up for stuff like that too, and they get some stuff building together, So it's always good to make those connections too. So
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
dude, like kids, I know you guys got a bunch of kids. You guys have kids classes too. What have you like with my kids that don't really want to do jujitsu all the time, but it's like I said, like I tell them the benefits of it. You guys are gonna do it, and then like I tell them, you don't have to be a black belt. Like I'm gonna be a black belt one day. You don't have to be a black belt. You can do it until you can defend yourself. And they're like, "What point is that?" I'm like, "Black belt." That's when. No, I'm just kidding. but I'm like, nah. Like when you can handle yourself with most people, like you guys know, when you know how to fight, they're probably not gonna mess with you. Like those people that fight don't really like to fight outside of when they're in the gym or whatever. It's the other people that you need to worry about. And when you know that you can handle yourself against most of those people, then you don't really need to train. Like maybe every once in a while you go to, keep in touch and like keep some of the things sharp. But what have you guys seen like with the kids in the class? Like, hey, I'm sure you've had kids that maybe don't want to go or everything in between.
Yeah, a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So I say majority of the kids don't want to be doing it.
Yeah.
Now don't get me wrong, man. As long as you keep it fun, like we do a lot of
Games
game,
like ecological jujitsu games.
Okay.
and we just we try to keep it fun and interesting to kids. We give them assignments to do instead of teaching them all these moves that we at first, we were doing it that way. I did it that way for years, man. And it's hard when you have a brand new group and no one knows jujitsu.
Yeah. Dude, I
So
can't dude, that's a crazy thought. That's a crazy thought.
it's hard to like teach a couple kids and get them going. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's been a ride, but playing the games and stuff, and you give them like this is the position you have to get to, or this is your goal. And they learn the grappling sense through all the games and whatnot.
Okay.
I think it's been great, right? Like,
Yeah. Kids get to just a lot of times when we're teaching moves and stuff too, especially like myself as someone real small, teaching big adults. My
Yeah.
jujitsu doesn't work for someone who's fucking 260, 6'5".
Yeah.
We have some of those guys around, and I'm like, well, no, you just go inverted, get under someone's leg, and it's all good. Kids are the same way. Some of them don't fully know how their body works yet. So it's
Yeah.
a lot easier to tell them just grab the head and arm like an arm triangle, and you win.
Yeah.
And then they can figure out how to do that for their body type and whatnot.
Right. Dude, you just said something like that triggered. No, not triggered, but like that's actually where I'm at right now because there's like big dudes in the gym and I'm just like sometimes like, dude, I'm gonna talk to my coach. Like, what do you do with these big motherfuckers? Like it's like nothing. Like I try to pull a leg and it's like it doesn't move. I try to grab something and then they just like throw you or whatever. It's like, yeah, I gotta learn jujitsu for like giant dudes, Well, actually,
That's where
what
the victim jujitsu comes into play. I lay down and I have submissions from the bottom. I'm like, all right, as long
Okay.
as I can just keep tight and not get submitted, hopefully something will pop up.
Yeah, that's
It
why.
becomes survival at a certain point.
Yeah, that's what I do work on my defense a lot. What is that? I posted that thing is like you win this meme is like you win or in jiu-jitsu you win or you learn and it's got the picture of the dude with the giant brain. It's like that's me. I'm always learning.
I actually just posted on a story,
Yeah.
I think, yesterday.
Yeah. Oh shit. I've been doing a lot of learning. Oh man.
Yeah.
But so did either of you get into like many fights or anything growing up, like where you had to defend yourself or use any of the karate that you learned?
Yeah, no, obviously I had scuffles as a teenager and stuff, just kid stuff, but I didn't have to fight a lot. I also boxed when I was a teenager, so you walk around with a different type of confidence that people don't really mess with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but I think that's a true thing, man. If you walk up with a big chest, your head high, not many people mess with you. They prey on the weak,
right. Yeah, for sure.
so.
And Jay, like you were doing jujitsu since you were 8. So I mean, there couldn't have been that much bullying before that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
what
yeah,
was
and
your
as I said,
experience?
it was like such a small thing at the time. People only had like this vague concept of like, oh, he goes and chokes people and breaks their arms. So like rumor gets around, this kid's doing this crazy martial arts that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like, no one really wanted to mess with me in that aspect. Of course, kids say harsh words and stuff, but it never turned into fighting. You just brush that stuff off.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, my daughter was talking about that yesterday when we were at this barbecue. She was saying that like when people in school, somebody would tell somebody else like, I don't mess with her. She does jujitsu, like she's gonna choke you out or some shit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, and
but
it,
the
and
mouth
it
gets
doesn't
around
even get
quick.
to it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Have you guys had any like kids at the gym that have dealt with bullying situations and like you've seen things that have kind of come from it or turned around?
Just a couple of small cases, but it all got situated, honestly. I think the school took care of it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's hard, right? It's hard to deal with bullies, man, and kids that don't have confidence and they don't feel like they can do anything, especially when the parents are telling them, fight back, defend yourself, and
And you don't
especially
know
when they don't
what?
know how to, man. It's kind of messed up, you're sending them into battle without a firearm,
Yeah.
So I try to obviously we try to give kids the confidence to actually defend themselves and have the confidence to think they can defend themselves. A lot of times it helps so they don't even have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I sadly, not sadly, but I'm a big advocate and I don't think that kids should be hit first before they hit back. I tell all my students, I look at the parents when I say, man, it's what I believe.
Yeah.
If you feel threatened, you don't wait to get hit, man. You hit them first.
Was that?
Because I'm sorry, it's just a parent coming up. I always tell my kids, you'll be in trouble to school, not
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
I'll be damned, you're gonna be bullied.
I'm the same way. Yep, for sure. No, and
Yeah.
what is that? It's like a Chael Sonnen. It's like you got that crazy look in his eye or whatever. It's like, I had to do something before it. But like, yeah, why are you gonna wait like to try to slip a punch or something before it? Like
Right.
if they're in your space,
Yeah.
and you can see like you got your hands up like, hey,
Yeah.
and then
If you can walk away, good, walk away.
yeah,
But we all know that there comes a point
yeah,
where there is no walking away now. You're either going to be a victim, or you're going to defend yourself.
yeah, yeah. No, I've told my kids like if you get into a scrap in school and you get because school's got this policy where like everybody gets in trouble and it's like,
Right.
well, it doesn't work that way. Like my son is his jam is Rubik's cubes. Like that is his personality. Like if you could imagine a kid that competes in Rubik's cube tournaments, he's all about it.
I
Like
tried it, dude. That's badass to me.
yeah, no, it's awesome. He loves it. It's so funny because I have I know you guys have probably seen the backyard fighting stuff that I
Oh,
post
yeah.
and that I go
Yeah,
to.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I take him to one of those things and I snap a picture of him and it's just like this pallet cage and he's just sitting there playing with a yo-yo. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he could give a shit about the fighting or any of that. But I tell him, I'm like, dude, if you get into a scrap in school and you take care of or regardless of what happens, you are 100% allowed to defend yourself and do it. Like, don't go fucking overboard or whatever. I mean, you know what to do within reason. But if somebody's picking on you, fucking take them down. You could put them in an armbar, fucking hold them there and be like, dude, I already told you to leave me, whatever. Sink a choke in and don't, if he taps, just hold him there and be like, dude, I already told you not to mess with me, whatever. And if you get in trouble by the school, like we're going out for ice cream when we get home. Like, and I don't give a shit if you get suspended or whatever, because we're
Right,
not about
yeah.
that,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. So like with kids and getting bullied, like at a certain point, like I had this thought that like as a parent, if my kid gets picked on at school and he gets beat up or bullied or whatever, I think there was a Henner Gracie video where like this kid's in a locker room and there's like a kid that just whoops this kid's ass. And then he goes into like the Gracie combatives or whatever they had, like the Gracie program. And it just shows him like getting better. But I was just kind of thinking like as a parent, knowing that bullying is a thing and not preparing your kid, like I said, my kids don't like it, but knowing that it's a thing as a parent, like you that's what it is making your kids do shit that they don't want to do sometimes.
Just like anything else in life.
How do you feel about that, and like, should every kid train jiu-jitsu or some type of fighting or something like that?
Yeah, I think every kid should train some type of realistic fighting. I'm not trying to shit on other martial arts, but we know there's a lot of watered down martial arts that just do it for the paycheck.
Yeah.
They're just selling belts, you know what I mean? It gives kids false sense, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but it's weird to me that kids wear black belts.
Yeah.
And they think that they're out there, they can whoop someone's ass. You know what I mean? It's a false sense when realistically someone's gonna smack the shit out of you.
Right.
And that belt doesn't mean shit now.
Right.
So like if you get him into like Muay Thai, a grappling art, boxing of some sort,
right,
some judo, you know what I mean? Something like that that's gonna benefit them, you know what I mean, in that aspect to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's very beneficial. I think every kid should.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you love Kempo karate coming up, so.
Yeah, I did some of the other martial arts. I did Kempo karate at one of those watered down schools, but I will say, like, recently I went to an event called PHQ.
Yeah.
And they had combat taekwondo, and it was all like the real legit taekwondo schools.
No shit.
Who, like do
Dude, it
like
was
live sparring, like to the full extent. And landing those kicks, watching those matches, it was super cool. I was like, it gave me a new respect for taekwondo, where I was like, all right, some of you motherfuckers are actually about it.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, for real. I mean, because that's like growing up, like my dad, like I said, he was like, I'm gonna teach you the real shit. And dude, when you have somebody that can kick with technique, like the fucking power in the kick is like, I mean, you see it sometimes in the UFC, like when they get a still shot of like somebody's like body section just like caved in with the dude's freaking leg. It's like, holy shit, the power in that damn kick.
Fuck
yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't really like watching like MMA fights and stuff like that, but I will get caught up like, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning scrolling social media, watching fight videos and whatnot, street fights.
Yeah.
And anytime you find one of those videos with some trained fighter, throw some crazy spinning kick, get the knockout, it's always those kind of moments. Like, it just makes such a big difference having a little bit of training.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, you have a combat jiu-jitsu match coming up, right?
Yep,
yeah,
I'm gonna go get slapped around a little bit soon.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
He better slap someone.
Dude, that's awesome too, because I think, I say this about jiu-jitsu, like I try to be like really realistic about stuff, and if you only train in the gi, or I mean, jiu-jitsu's got rules, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be punching people in the face, or you pull guard in the street and then somebody just cracks you right from inside your guard. Then what do? You know what I mean? So like this combat jiu-jitsu, that's kind of like the next, like even more realistic. You know what I mean?
Dipping my toe a little bit, getting a little wet, seeing what the closer to MMA kind of world feels like.
Yeah.
The kid I'll be facing, he is like an actual MMA fighter.
Okay.
He has a amateur and a pro record. So, it'll be exciting. As I said, I probably, on the day-to-day, I don't practice the kind of jiu-jitsu that'd be good for combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
but I'm going to try to bust out, my prime years, bring out some wrestling, try to stay on top of this kid.
Start slapping him around a little bit. Yeah. No, dude, that's awesome. That's cool. It's like these the backyard fight stuff. Like you start hanging around certain things, and it's like little by little they start roping you into shit. It's like the dads on the side when they bring their kids to jiu-jitsu, and it's like, he's gonna be out here eventually. You know what I mean?
They're always trying to drag him in. They come in the door like, "Oh, you're signing up your kid. Other classes are at 6 p.m. Come on in."
Yeah, we got gis. When are you signing up? Yeah. Dude, one thing I wanted to mention too is like, you also have these parents that sometimes they're like yelling at their kid from their side of the mat. And like, I've helped coach kids classes. And one thing that I knew like from the beginning is that even before I started jiu-jitsu, like I don't do it, and I'm watching my kids and I'm like, dude, Derek Lewis, just stand up. Like, what are you doing? But it's like, you have no idea what it's like to have somebody else on top of you. But there's a lot of times that you get some parents that are on the side just yelling stuff like, do this, America, because they watch fucking UFC or some shit. And like, have you guys had that instance in your gym, or have you seen that at other places?
Yeah, other places for sure. We don't get a lot at our gym just because we're a tight community and we
Right.
look at the parents like, well, bring your ass on the mat, show us.
Right.
You know, I
That
mean,
is
like, show us how the fuck to do it, man. Like the kids try
do
it,
what you
dude.
told him to do. Get him off of you.
Right. So, like, you know what I mean? So we bust parents' balls like that too. We don't care. So, you know, we're a tight club.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't get it a lot here. And when parents do start it, we remind the parents, hey, this is our time.
Yeah.
You do that shit at home. You know what I mean? When they're here, this is our time. The hours that they're here, they belong to us.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if you want to coach them, you know, obviously they still do when they're grappling. We let them yell and scream, but
Yeah. Yeah.
when it comes down to coaching, like, dude, you pay for them to come here.
Right.
Like,
Right.
let
Right.
us
Yeah.
teach them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Um, but yeah,
I'd say we can reel that in like when it's our classes. You're not stopping any parent from yelling like that at a tournament.
Bro,
No,
Once they
no,
put
no.
that $100 on the line for that Naga belt,
It's a free for
they
all.
are screaming.
break the fucking off.
Take it home. Yeah. Oh shit. I know. Dude, I think about that shit too sometimes. Like at the end of like I'm 40 something competing in these tournaments. Like, I mean, yeah, if somebody doesn't tap, I'm gonna keep, but even still, like I have a hard time like just ripping shit up. Like
Right.
if I get that, not that I get, like if I get that opportunity, I'd probably still try to control the arm bar and not just fucking, you know, because the guys probably got, oh, I was hearing, what was it? I was listening to another, one of the guys from Street Beef's Forever a White Belt podcast. They were talking about like the mind games that people play like at a tournament when they're like, oh, I got a family and I got 3 kids. Like right before you're about to fight the guy is like, it's kind of like
Yeah, but then
mentally
try to kill you.
yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, okay, I think, you know, we're just gonna, it's a tournament. And then they fucking come all out trying to murder you. Yeah, it's crazy. But, you know, I think about that. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to go to the UFC. I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm trying to, you know, defend myself, my family. If the situation ever gets to it, and fucking, what are the chances of that? You know? Right. So more than anything, it's a community, it's a sport, it's something, you know, to get better at, because I think that's something that everybody needs, you know? Yeah. But what do you guys think about, like, I mean, sometimes like these tournaments are like if you lose this tournament, like your wife is walking out the door. You know what I mean? Like she's like, who is this fucking guy? You know?
Well, dude, we seen it all because we've been doing this so long, going on. Like he's been competing since he was 8 years old, man.
Yeah.
So we've seen it all, you know. And dude, me being a coach coming up, a young coach and father, I got yelled at by refs, you know. Jay got DQ'd for doing stupid shit one time. I lost my shit, and the ref got pissed at me. I'm sure he didn't like me for a couple of years because we see the same refs all the time.
Like, yeah, you got to go back.
Yeah, but now it's a lot different. I'm cool. Like I say, you know, I try to stay cool. My wife, though, my wife's a fucking problem. She fucking, you. She fucking yells, Miguel, goes to the refs table to fucking argue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, don't go do that shit.
Oh, shit. That's
But
funny.
listen, she's mama bear, man.
Yeah.
So she'll fight for the athletes. It's funny as shit.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, man. Dude, so what would you guys say is like your favorite? This question kind of came to me like watching your baseball bat choke video. I shared it a couple days ago. I've actually felt it at the gym, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah, I remember you showing it to me there at the gym, and then after that, like that video comes out where you choke this dude unconscious with the baseball, like from standing right down to the ground, like you were underneath him, and then you get on top, and then the dude was just fucking out, and then Roshan with the fucking knockout, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Awesome.
What is it like being a coach? Like, what is your favorite part of being a coach? Because I got to imagine that's probably one of them, you know, like seeing people do stuff like that. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, the big highlights obviously are always big. We talked about, you know, some of the like bullying aspect and whatnot. As far as being a kids coach, it is awesome to see a lot of the kids, regardless like tournaments and whatnot, just see them build that confidence. We have a lot of kids who come in, you know, they're too scared to even talk to the other kids, let alone be running around and fighting and whatnot. And within like a year's time, you see all that confidence build where they're ready to compete and they're out in the world, big chests and whatnot. They think they can fight.
Yeah.
But as I said, of course, the highlights are amazing. When Roshan had that knockout, I was, of course, right behind the camera, fucking screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
We had one of our kids recently, uh, fairly new to training, just a couple months. We threw him in a tournament. Before he went to one of his gi matches, we brought him to the side. We're like, you remember
I
doing the
saw
baseball
it.
bat choke you just clinch? And he went out there. Taught him once. He drilled it. Hadn't done it at all
No
till the
shit.
tournament. We showed him, and he just went out there and did it. And that was a big moment for me. I was like, oh my God, this kid's so teachable. He hit the highlight move.
Hell
Oh, that
yeah.
sounds amazing.
Fucking move of the day.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it was a Naga gi tournament.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I saw it. I was like, holy shit, this little
And
dude
he
hit the
did no gi with the gi out, which is
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yo, I was like, holy shit, this dude hit the baseball bat. That was freaking, that was awesome. Yeah. What about you, Jason? And what are like highlights of coaching for you?
Man, just being part of it, man, and them being successful, it makes me happy, you know. It shows that we know what we're doing when they're winning tournaments. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You can be a grappling school and, be teaching stuff, but it means a lot when your students go out there and actually succeed.
Yeah.
It shows that your system's actually working, what you're doing works against other gyms and shit. So it makes me feel really good. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's definitely got to be rewarding, fulfilling. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But dude, one thing I wanted to ask you guys too is like, I'm at blue belt, and I think I've been a blue belt for a
Hold
while.
on, 4 stripes now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
getting
man.
there.
Oh, shit.
No more
Oh,
stripes. No more
purple
stripes.
coming.
Yeah. And blue belt is one of those things where like you hear it in jiu-jitsu, like that's where people just disappear. Give them a blue belt if you want them to like never come back or whatever. But why do you think that happens?
What do you think? I know I have my answers. But
I think it can be a lot of a grind. Like as everyone says, I think having a little bit of color, people are like, all right, well, clearly I know some jujitsu. Like someone
Yeah.
thought I was a blue belt.
You feel like
And
you
I think
did
a little
something.
bit of that gets in their head. But it also can be such a grind to be a blue belt. Like sure, there's sometimes where you're 1 or 2 years and you move on to your next belt. But we've had some of our students, like we had a student, Cade, he was sitting at blue belt for years and years, what, 7 years or no,
No,
sorry, that was his white belt.
His white
He was
belt.
at white belt for 7 years.
Cade
But
was at white belt for like maybe 6 years.
same thing can happen at the blue belt sometimes where,
Yeah.
depending on how often you're training and whatnot, it can be just such a long grind. And there's also so many levels of blue belt that
Right.
when you're first getting your blue belt, you have people who are about to be purple belts smashing on you. And you're still in your head like, damn, should I have this blue belt on?
Right.
Especially when it comes to competition, that schools that are heavy in comps, they'll have 5, 6 year blue belts like nothing.
Yeah.
And you're year 1.
Right.
Right. So, dude, it's rough, man.
Those expectations.
And like he said, like you always think, someone gave you that blue belt, you have color, like you have something to prove. So you always feel like you're not good enough. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
fucking, it's a long path up and down, man.
I should
Or
have
the
been.
other end of the spectrum, you feel like you're too good now.
Yeah.
Damn, well, I'm not going to stay around beating all these white belts. I got to bring this blue belt out in the real world.
Yeah. And then you find out there's levels. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is a grind, and I think I can't remember exactly, but I think like blue belt, like I think people feel like they've done something. Like you get that, especially like,
accomplishment.
if you've been a white belt for a long time, in that case or whatever, like you get that blue belt, and it's like, all right, now it's a representation. Like I've done something. I'm not just a white belt or whatever. Not that that everybody, we've all been white belts,
Yeah,
but yeah, at a certain
it's not easy, man, to get a blue belt, especially if you belong to a decent school, a school that takes the ranking seriously. It's an accomplishment, man.
yeah.
I remember when I got my blue belt, I wore that shit in public.
Yeah.
Same for my purple belt.
Yeah.
If I wear that shit to the grocery store.
Yeah. Oh shit.
But you know what I mean? Like, especially
Yeah.
an adult getting something like that, like
Yeah.
there's nothing like it like an adult. Like, dude, like it's what I mean? It's like you got your not masters, but like, what I mean, you accomplished something, it
Right.
means something. So
Yeah. And I think
yeah.
like when you get to blue belt, like you really gotta, at that point you have to ask yourself, like, do I really want to fucking do this?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think it's like you hear it once you get past purple belt, like, you're pretty much going to get to black belt for a lot of
Yeah.
people,
Right.
and it was kind of like, for me, I had one of those moments is like, I think I knew from the beginning that I wasn't going to stop, But like you guys said, man, this shit is fucking hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time.
Especially you're just coming off all your injuries, man. Just dealing with injuries, dude, and trying to come back to training, dude, is fucking hard.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that too and ask you guys about some injuries. But yeah, like you really got to ask yourself, like, is this something that I want to do? Because like you said, some days you go to the gym and you're doing good, and some days it's like, what the like there's a new white belt that used to be a wrestler or whatever, and it's like, motherfucker gave me problems and I'm supposed to be a purple belt? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And you just like question your existence or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like at that point, like you really gotta like figure out if you're really gonna do this, if you really love it, and at a certain point, I think you just gotta like forget all that shit.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm competing against myself. Like it sounds
No,
corny
dude,
or whatever.
That's real,
but it's
especially
just
at our age, man. When we get to this level, or this age, I'm definitely just trying to be better than I was yesterday.
yeah, for sure.
It's survive the young guys. You know what I mean? Dude, I try to remind myself, like, dude, these guys are fucking 20 years younger than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're here every fucking day. Like my body is fucking broken, and you guys are coming 3 times a week, fucking trying to kill me.
Yeah, for sure. No, yep. But yeah, dude, talking about injuries, the last podcast I did with my wife, and I did it with her. I mean, we had a podcast that we've done before, and she started training jiu-jitsu. Actually, I think when I was out there training with you guys, or I was traveling a little bit, and my wife was taking the kids to the gym while I was out of town, and she posts a picture in a gi, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, you don't like, how come you don't go in the gi like when you come train when I'm there, and now you're going with the kids? And it was like, well, I'm, you know, when I'm here, I take the kids, you know, so she can stay home and do stuff. But when she had to take them, she was just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna put a gi on and I'm gonna go train too.
That's awesome. So she jumped in, man.
Yeah. So she started training a little bit here and there, a little bit more consistent, and then she hurt her knee, you know. So the last week she went and got MRIs, and we got to go figure all that shit out. Yeah. But the last episode we did was just all about injuries, and I think it's something that if you do jiu-jitsu, like we kind of talk about it between ourselves, but it's not like a highlighted thing. It's actually like the gentle art, right? But
yeah,
fucking hell, like you're gonna go through some shit. You know, like you said, I was training at your guys' gym with a cast on, you know, because I broke my hand in a tournament here, you know. So like, what are some of the injuries that you guys have been through, and like, just how do you guys like? Did you? I'm guessing you had to like make peace with it, right? Like that's just part of the game.
Yeah. You wanna go first?
I've been lucky enough to not have any like major injuries or anything. A lot of, once again, that style of game I play where I'm giving up a lot of stuff helps me not get injured. I feel like it's when you're really going head to head, trying to fight things super hard, that
holding on to shit
and pop. And yeah, like recently I had someone in a super tight lockdown, and as they were trying to come in, something happened in the knee and popped or exploded. And that's what I mean, you know, sometimes you got to just retreat away from stuff. Even with that being said, though, there have been times like both of my knees have been popped. I don't know what popped. I don't go to the doctor or anything. You know, I just kind of sat on the side and cried for a little bit.
And I said, give it time.
But, you know, it just, sometimes it's super unavoidable. I just twisted a little bit the wrong way. It popped. You always think you can go a little bit more. You're moving the leg. You're like, all right, you know, let's do a little slap and bump. You start grabbing. You're like, no, please stop.
Yeah.
Well, how about the ribs?
Oh my God, the ribs are always horrible.
Yeah.
It's always unexpected. Same thing. You always feel like it when it first happens. Like, okay, we can still finish out this round. And then it's just excruciating.
Dude.
Yeah. No, maybe it's the adrenaline or whatever. That happened to me the first, like I was just telling one of the guys, like 4 or 6 weeks in to jiu-jitsu, white belt. And I had somebody on top of me in mount, grapevine my leg. So all their pressure was just going right into my core. And I don't know what to do. So I have the great idea that I'm just going to take a breath for a second, and then I'm just going to explode and spaz out of this thing, you know? So as soon as I released the pressure from my core, like I just felt the rib just pop, you know?
Yeah, dude,
and I don't know if it was like the adrenaline or whatever that like we stop, I tap or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, dude, like I know I felt a pop, and it didn't kick in like right away, and I think I started rolling the next round, and then that next round, it I don't know if it popped again or whatever, but I was like, oh shit, like rib injuries are no freaking joke.
It's the weirdest fucking feeling because you feel like you're okay, like, oh shit, okay, I'm all right,
and
then you start playing the game, you're like, oh fuck,
I can't breathe, you know, like yeah, dude, just what was it last a couple days ago, Friday, I went to training, and what was it? They got me in a bow and arrow. It was one of these, but like where I was just fucking like folding in half, and I just felt my ribs just like all stretched, and I was like, oh shit, I was like, I'm done. And luckily, like I've been moving around this weekend, I'm like, all right, I think it was just like it stretched and popped and cracked, but not like in a bad way. Like just like maybe going to the chiropractor type of thing. But dude, I was like, fuck, man, not again. You know?
A lot of us have had our ribs popped. We know it'll take us out. We had one student, Roshan. You rolled over Roshan.
Roshan, yeah, Ro.
He got his rib popped like second match in a tournament and still decided to go out and finish his bracket. Yeah. He is so much more of a thug than me.
Holy
he is a
shit.
fighter for real.
You went finish. You're like, get the fuck out.
Nah, bro.
$100.
Dude, that is crazy. Yeah, that's insane. But what about you, Jason? What injuries like have you had?
All of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
Everything's fucked up.
Yeah, everything's fucked up.
Everything's fucked up. I fucked up my neck a couple times, which I had to do PT for.
Yeah.
But probably like the worst injury besides my neck. My worst injury was teaching kids how to take wrestling shots. I tore my meniscus.
Oh.
Teaching them how to do a fucking shot, man. I wasn't even wrestling.
Dude.
I never had surgery. I taught for months with a brace on. You know, teaching kids classes. I still train with the fucking leg, which I don't know how I did it. You know, you had a cast on. You know, you just do it.
You just go. Yeah.
It's funny because I learned. I did like a whole other style of jiu-jitsu at that point.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have one leg and it was stuck straight all the time. So I was doing all types of weird shit. But but that was it, man. Other than that, you know, stupid injuries, hyperextended arms. You know.
Yeah.
My shoulders are shot.
Yeah.
I can't put my arms flat on the mat.
Yeah.
You know, so, but other than that.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last podcast, but I think I've told it on here before. But actually, it was right before I broke my hand. It was one of those where, like I said earlier, I've been a blue belt for a while, and I had gone through these periods where I just didn't want to do the hard shit, like just straight up. You know, it's like, hey, it's rolling time. I was like, hey, I think my wife's got dinner ready. I gotta go. You know, like she's gonna be mad at me if I'm not there. You know, so I fucking take off early or whatever. And then, you know, I just kind of had to like be real with myself and be like, dude, you're avoiding the shit that's gonna, like you say, you want to do this stuff. You're gonna get to black belt one day. That's not how you do it. You know, every day and it's actually, you're not getting better. Like it's crazy because you could drill and do all these things, but you gotta fucking, it's the shit that you're avoiding.
You have to do the live rounds.
Yeah. It's the shit that you're avoiding that's gonna make the biggest difference, you know?
Yeah.
And damn, where was I? Oh, the hand. So like I felt like I was kind of getting on a roll, like just getting in the gym more consistently and rolling and doing all this shit. And I'm getting ready for a tournament. And I remember getting ready and I'm in the bathroom and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, what's it going to be? You know, because usually when you're hitting your stride and shit's going good, you're feeling good, something's going to happen. You know what I mean? And that's like literally like a week later, I go to compete and I fucking break my hand. And I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew something would. But I think at that point I had already decided like, all right, whatever. Like, and right now I'm kind of still like, I'm getting that feeling again. And then with the rib on Friday, it was like, well, I mean, if I have to fucking take time off, I'll take some time off. But it's just part of you just got to make peace with that. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
Like it's going to happen. But what would you guys say to like people that have injuries like that? Because it's fucking hard to like get on a roll and feel like you're doing good, and then you're out for 6 weeks. I mean, with ribs or certain things, like you just can't do anything. And when you're starting over, man, it's rough.
I tell people, take the fucking time.
Yeah.
Which I know, man. I don't myself. I don't practice what I preach. I still get on the mat, but like you don't have to roll. Just come and fucking learn. You know what I mean?
Stay
Bring
connected.
a notepad. Take some fucking notes. You know what I mean? You're still part of the crew. bullshit. You know what I mean? You're part of the club. But it's hard, man, when you love grappling. You want to get out there and still train. So
Yeah.
I try to tell people, hey, take the time, recover. But they see me on the mat fucked up all the time. So who am I to tell them anything?
Yeah. What about you, Lil Jay? I mean, what are your thoughts on like coming back from injury, like, and then going through that fucking grind again? You know what I mean?
Coach here is my master Shifu, my biggest influence. So I'm in the same boat where we have some guys who've had a lot more injuries than others, and usually because they don't let the initial injury heal.
Yeah.
So I try to stress them like, motherfucker, we actually want you back on the mat.
Yeah.
Please just let yourself heal a little bit. Of course, we want you in here. Come hang out. Come do the drilling that you can with whatever injury you have. But you have to let stuff heal, even though we typically don't.
Yeah.
But down the road, like I'm still young, almost 25. By the time I'm 30, I'm sure everything will be shutting down. I'll start regretting some choices.
It's like anytime you just gotta stand up, you're like, ah, shit.
That part's already happening. Yeah. It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah, man. No, that I try to, like, especially the newer guys, because shit happens. You're rolling and something tweaks or whatever. Like, I'm always telling people, like, dude, pay attention to what it is. Like, is it uncomfortable? Is it hurt? Like, cause some things, like maybe somebody put a knee somewhere and it's just like super sore. Yeah. And it's like, you might be able to just train through that, just.
Well, that's not an injury. You're just being a pussy.
Right. There you go. Yeah. But
I ask the kids same thing. I look at the kid, I say, are you injured or are you hurt? There's a difference.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I tell them. Is like, but if it's an injury and you train with it, you're just going to make it worse for yourself. Yeah. Like, you're going to be, then you might have to get surgery. Then you're really going to be out for a couple months or 3 months or whatever. And then you're going to be fucking starting this whole thing over, where if you just take a couple weeks now, or like you said, come in, stay connected to the gym, watch. And if you can drill, if you have people that you trust, you can flow with them where you're not fucking going crazy. But dude, like, some people is just like, tape it up and keep it moving, and then some shit snaps.
Yeah. You never heal, man. You end up just hurting yourself more, and then you have to take 6 months to a year off, and then you might not come back, man. It's hard to come back. So yeah.
What do you guys say, like, about that mindset of like having to like rebuild? Like, that's something that I've had to deal with certain injuries, or just like I said with the blue belt, just kind of like not wanting to do the hard shit, or not wanting to get fucking crushed all the time.
I was fortunate. I'm gonna call it fortunate. Like, I was forced to be at the gym all the time, no matter what, because I taught a kids program. So I had obligations to be there. So even the times that I did not want to be there, I had to be there. So I didn't have an easy out because that obligation to the academy. You know what I mean? With that being said, man, it's kind of messed up. Like, I didn't go to a lot of classes, like regular classes, when I started teaching the kids class all the time. I trained with like upper belts and with some of my other instructors, but I wasn't in class all the time. Which I got shit, man, from a lot of my training partners, like the guys that I came up with beating the shit out of me. They were like, "Oh, you don't come train anymore, motherfucker! I teach classes. I have a job." You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a different
like,
situation.
You hold yourself to the fire. You know what I mean? I just found different ways that I could train no matter what. You know what I mean? To still get the time and still get those ass whoopings and be in the nail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, it was easy for me, or not easy for me, just to skip out because I had to be there to teach kids classes.
Right.
I wanted him to train. I wanted my daughter to train. So like, once again, I didn't have a fucking choice. But like, I'm not going. No, I'm always telling them, you guys need to go to the fucking gym.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't have that choice, you know what I mean? To be like, no, we're not going.
Dude, and not to make this like a parenting, like, we've talked a lot about kids and parenting and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like a lot of times, like, parents want to tell their kids, like, you can do this and you can do that and this is possible, but they're not showing them what they're capable of. You know what I mean? Like, they're watching you. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what are your guys' favorite submissions?
Baseball bat choke, baby.
I had a feeling that one was coming. Yeah.
I'm a Kimura guy, key lock guy.
Yeah.
So I would say Kimura or anything built off that, honestly, you know.
Yeah, dude, I gotta watch that sit out with the key lock again.
Yeah, actually, yes, yeah, yeah. I'm a big key lock guy. So just that position itself, I like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so many, but what do you guys think about? What would you say to somebody that only trains like jujitsu? Because like I said, I try to be realistic with stuff, and like you're doing the combat jujitsu, you guys teach boxing, Muay Thai at your school, but there's a lot of places that it's just like gi only, or some places that are only no gi, or But I like being real. Like for some people, like you start doing jujitsu and you get this mentality like, oh, this is like the best shit ever. Like there is nothing higher and whatever. And it's like, dude, I mean, kind of like Mike Tyson says, like everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Right.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
what would you guys say to somebody that only trains in one thing and doesn't really, like they're not even really thinking about doing anything else?
It's definitely good to be more well-rounded. At least go experience what getting hit in the face is like, especially if you're just a jujitsu guy.
Yeah.
Like, because when it comes to that real life scenario and you actually get hit for the first time, jujitsu goes out the window. You're just wobbling around like, holy shit, I actually got hit.
Yeah.
But it's also very important to know like what you're training for and what your gym's training for. Like schools that are really comp heavy, you should understand that your jujitsu doesn't work in the street. Your Eminari rolls and jumping on your back and trying to grab a heel hook is going to get you stomped. So like that's not good self-defense jujitsu. So if you're doing it for a real life scenario, you need to make sure wherever you're going has classes that are training for that real life scenario. Like, all right, we're just closing the distance and we're getting on top. None of the funny stuff. We're here to dominate and keep ourselves safe.
Right. Yeah. Watch the punches, like keeping your hands up, watching the punches getting close. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, that's, you got to be realistic about this stuff, like, and a lot of times people like, this is my thing and this is what I do and this is the greatest shit ever. And it's like, well, I mean, there's a lot more out there in the world. I mean, it's kind of like fighting. You start doing all these different things and it's like, the world is so big when it comes to fighting. There's just so much that goes into it.
Oh, so much.
Yeah. But, I wanted to, before we kind of wrap up, I wanted to like give out your guys' stuff where people can follow you, Lil Jay, and then Gonzalez Grappling LLC, and anything else that you guys might have coming up or going on.
Yeah, like we said, Jay has his match coming up with CHQ.
CHQ will be able to be streamed on YouTube.
Okay.
If you go on the CHQ YouTube channel, that's on October 10th. All the matches start at, I believe, 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can be followed personally. I'm mainly on Instagram at Coach Little J, Coach Liljay. As you said, the school page, Gonzalez Grappling LLC. We're most prominent on Instagram for there as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and make sure if you guys are in Connecticut, in the Hartford, Vernon area, you guys hit them up because, it's an amazing gym. I can't wait to come back and train with you guys. It's always an amazing time.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you soon, man.
yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate you guys doing it. Thank you guys for being on the show. We'll talk to you guys next time.
All right, thanks, Miguel, man. Take care, bro.
You too.
Man.
Bye.